we already knew this album was going to come quickly. I think, thank you. I think it surprised us a little bit how quickly it took to record in each day of recording. That was really fast. But we knew quite quickly after We're Here Because We're Here we wanted to continue with the next one. And if I'm honest, I want to continue the next one at the same speed. So, you know, we had 7 years to wait before that album. It was a long time, a very frustrating time. But we were still on tour, we were still putting out DVDs and doing various things. But I don't know. I think we're just creating music all the time. I think we stop. And when it's ready, it's ready. There's just no point in it. Partly, thanks have got to happen to Case Group, which is the label who's, you know, backing us at the moment. They're an amazing place to be. They've got some great artists at the moment. I don't know if you know them, but they've got some really fantastic stuff coming out. So I'm very proud and happy to be part of their family, and to be in this kind of creative burst, really. It doesn't really show any signs of slowing down, which is a good thing, right? I suppose.
I agree.
Yeah.
So We're Here Because We're Here is considered as one of your greatest pieces of music.
Thank you.
And you seem to be climbing even higher with weather systems. So how can you achieve it, even psychologically?
I think you have to ignore whatever people think about what your work is. And We're Here Because We're Here had some amazing praise that we're very grateful and very appreciative for. But you can't make music like that if you're thinking about what people want. In fact, as soon as you do think about what people want, you're actually diluting your ideas. You know, do you know what I mean? Our ideas are very internal to us, you know, and it's a closed set, you know. You don't get in, you know. Nothing gets in, nothing gets in the way of us and our ideas. So we have to keep it like that in order to keep improving. Like I said, I mean, I think it's important with any artist as well. Like once you've done something that's considered a seminal work, you don't have to repeat it. I mean, imagine what it was like for the Beatles. You know what I mean? Biggest band in the world, right? And they just ignored what everybody wanted them to do, and they just followed their own path continuously. I mean, that's pressure. You know what I mean?
That's personal pressure.
Oh, absolutely, but they just ignored it. Like, you know, the same goes for Pink Floyd, you know? And they just continue to progress and to continue to go forward. Look at Radiohead when they did the Ben's or OK Computer, you know? And they completely did the opposite the next time out, you know? So you have to have that notion of cutting yourself off from both the praise and the criticism for what you do, because ultimately it doesn't matter if you get the idea right. Now either people like it or they don't, but if you get it right, if there's nothing you would change about that idea, then it's right, as far as you're concerned at least. You know what I mean? And at that point you're bulletproof, because it really doesn't matter, you know. And it's through the creation of a certain idea, when you do get something right and you create like a little world within a song, once you've done it, you never go backwards. You don't want to repeat it again. It's somehow, you know what I mean? It's, so that continues the progression. Make sure you always move forward.
Okay, so does Weather Systems be a logical switch to We're Here, even if the atmosphere is different?
Yeah. I think it's logical. It's also some of these songs were born around the same time as We're Here Because We're Here. While we were in the studio for We're Here Because We're Here, we recorded lots of things, and a few of those things were actually what we considered to be like the Weather System sequence of songs. It was The Gathering of the Clouds, Lightning Song, Sunlight, and The Storm Before the Calm. Those 4 songs were always intended to be together, and they could never be separated, and they could never. So we couldn't put them on the last album because it would have been too much. So we knew that was going to be the foundation of the next one. But also, it was a question. The only question to us was how would we expand upon these 4 songs, and how would we create the flow of the songs and the right dynamics of which types of music we're going to make one full record. But once we had those 4, really quickly we had this other song called Internal Landscapes in the studio, which came together really fast in the studio. Then we knew we had the ending of the album, and we knew we had the middle of the album. So then it was a case of just filling in the gaps, and that happened fairly quickly. So we recorded it in 3 parts. We started off in Liverpool and went to the studio Parr Street. I had a really easy session there, doing the weather systems, kind of sweaty songs, and then we took some time off. We finished off Falling Deeper as well, which is an album we did last year. So we were doing kind of 2 records at once. We were going backwards with that one, so we finished that one, and then we went to Oslo to go to our producer's place, Krista, and to work with him. There was a great experience on these brand new songs that we completely new. And from there we had the bones of the whole album, and then after that we released Falling Deeper in September, and then I think like November, December we went into a studio in Wales, which was the kind of finishing off of both sessions. So one session there in Liverpool, one session there in Oslo. We bring it all together at the end and we finish the thing. And it was really easy, like to kind of separate things like that, because you could focus on just these songs and then focus on just these songs. And when you had all of that down, you said, okay, what do we need to do? Some lyrics. And the thing was, we never actually rehearsed or practiced. Probably should have done, but it worked anyway. We just kind of went into the studio and did it, on all the sessions. And the last session was probably my favourite, for a number of reasons. I think because we were working on all the songs at once, it was great, but also because of the studio itself. It's an amazing place. It's like a kind of army bunker created in the 60s when the English government had too much money. That they, I don't know what they thought they were going to build, like there's going to be a nuclear war or something with Russia. But anyway, there was like 6 feet thick walls, these concrete walls, no windows, no daylight. So, and all your bedrooms are inside the place as well, so you're kind of locked in, these big metal doors, and you're in there and you can't escape, you know what I mean? We were just imagining like this is a perfect place to shoot a zombie movie, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. But it was really good going there. We could work any time of the day or night, and more often than not we did. So if we had some kind of inspiration about 4 o'clock in the morning, we could actually record, And long hours, long days, but we got it done in the end. And a lot of thanks and praise goes out to Krista Andre Sederberg, our producer, who was there to bring the whole session together with us. And he also felt like a creative partner, more so than anybody else we've worked with in the past. For some reason he just fitted, and I think it was more like chemistry, between people, really. It's not just his ideas, but it's who he is as a person as well, you know what I mean? Because like I said, we're like kind of a closed unit, like we're a family that we've been together all of our lives, and for somebody else to just fit perfectly on the first day, that was uncanny.
How did you find him?
Through Petter Carlsen. Petter Carlsen's a guy from Norway, and he released an album called Clocks Don't Count. He's a singer-songwriter, and his music is absolutely amazing. It's beautiful, it's melancholic, it's very deep, it's very real at the same time, and the production on that record is just pristine, at the same time being very natural and warm, and very lush when it needs to be too, and it just felt right, Okay, we've got to give this a shot with this guy. So we met him while we were on tour. We played in Oslo with Petter's band, his full band, and we met Krista. Krista's playing guitar for Petter, and then we just hit it off as well. So we thought, okay, we're going to give this a shot. So the first day of the recording, me and Krista were rooming together in this apartment because we had to share apartments, and we were friends like immediately, before we'd even started work. We were just like, yeah, this is cool, got a new friend, So it worked. It just worked. I think it's a chemistry thing, you know?
Okay.
People work together or they don't.